The Escape helped start the small SUV segment way back in 2001, and in 2005 gave us the first small SUV hybrid. There are over 20 solid competitors in this segment now. Ford is betting that this rugged, feature-loaded SUV will literally take you and Ford to new heights. So that's how we tested it. Oddly enough, I'm going to start by talking about a different vehicle, the new 2021 Bronco Sport. The Bronco nameplate has a heritage of rugged off-road lifestyle capability on par with the iconic Jeep brand. What's important here is that when Ford was designing the new Escape platform, they were already planning to use it on a high-volume vehicle that will get even tougher off-road use. This means that the new 2020 Escape is somewhat overbuilt with more trim and powertrain options available to us than its competitors. Built in North America and priced affordably using multi-vehicle economies of scale, which means you and I get a bigger bang for our buck. To find out if it's a top choice in the small SUV segment, we put the Escape through some harsh testing, looking for top-notch performance in 4 key areas: fuel economy, handling, comfort, and durability.
Great fuel economy may be the #1 reason for choosing any hybrid. And in this case, the Ford Escape is rated at 5.5 liters per 100 kilometer in the city, 6.4 on the highway, and 5.9 combined. And this is pretty close to what we got in our results. Our combined rating was actually 6.2 liters per 100 kilometer, and that included a lot of 0 to 60 testing, mountain roads, probably not exactly the typical EPA test.
The Ford Escape is available in 4 engine choices: a turbocharged 1.5 liter inline 3-cylinder gas engine, a turbocharged 2-liter inline 4-cylinder, and 2 normally aspirated Atkinson cycle 2.5-liter hybrid engines. Both the 1.5 and 2-liter turbocharged gas engines have a smooth shifting traditional 8-speed transmission, while the hybrids use a continuously variable transmission, or CVT, to get the power to the wheels. It might sound like a confusing array of choices, but it's not. Here's how to choose the best engine for you. If affordability is your priority, then the 1.5-liter engine is top of the class. If towing and traction are most important, then the 2-liter turbo, which has all-wheel drive, is the clear choice. For outstanding fuel economy and traction, get the hybrid all-wheel drive version. For fuel economy and range, an estimated 550 miles, the front-wheel drive hybrid plug-in reigns supreme.
Now the first 2 will both give you towing options. In the 1.5 liter, it'll tow up to 2,000 pounds. In the 2 liter, it'll tow up to 3,500 pounds. But in both hybrids, towing is not recommended. And I don't think you can even actually get a trailer tow package on these hybrid models. And the reason is the transmission. It doesn't actually have gears the way a traditional automatic or a manual does, which means it shifts very, very smoothly through an infinite gear range. That's the upside. The downside is no towing.
I admit that my family is addicted to the great outdoors and travel. Our daily driver is a modified off-road truck that could escape from any city to safety in the event of a zombie apocalypse. So when it comes to an SUV, we set the bar pretty high. When the different drive modes popped up on screen, I tested normal, eco, and sport during my city and highway review, which left the intriguing choices of slippery and deep sand snow.
Since the Ford Escape does come with a number of different drive modes for different terrain conditions, and really it's a crossover utility vehicle, which means you're supposed to be able to do more than just go get groceries with it. One thing to note about the hybrid version is it does say all-wheel drive, but in order to get the most out of the fuel economy, the way Ford's designed it is that when you're cruising down the highway on dry pavement, the car actually operates in front-wheel drive mode in order to save you fuel. If it detects any slippage, and when it starts off, it actually kicks into all-wheel drive. And now we're actually into some packed gravel road. Suspension does seem to suck up a lot of this rough road. Considering the crap we're driving over right now, it's actually quite good. Yeah, we are allowed to change our traction control mode on the fly, which is what I'm doing right now. and I am moving myself into slippery condition mode. This is a potholed rough road. This is nice. It's a really nice ride over a very rough road. We might have to switch into deep snow and sand mode, where only four-wheel drive trucks dare to tread.
If heading to the local backcountry ski hill is a winter priority for you, the Escape would be a good choice. We tested the all-new 2.5-liter hybrid all-wheel drive powertrain, which has a normally aspirated, that means no turbocharger, in the fully loaded titanium trim. The 2020 Escape is a little longer with a bit more ground clearance compared to 2019, and yet it is 200 pounds lighter. It drives more like a car with very responsive steering, little body roll, and a turning diameter of just 21.7 feet.
The sharper corners, like this, and this, and it handles really, really well. It's a lot of fun to drive. Very sporty feel, especially right now I have it in sport mode.
Braking was instantaneous without uncontrollable nosediving.
Brakes are tight, stopping is good. There's virtually no nosedive. And really not a lot of body roll. It is a nice tight suspension.
The peppy engine might be a hair slow off the line, but it still turned in a very respectable 0 to 60 mile per hour time.
Time for the 0 to 60 test. That's 60 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. And we're going to use the FastR app, and I'll put a link down below so you can use the same app if you want to test your vehicle. Here we go. So 0 to 60 miles per hour in sport mode is 7.95 seconds.
And once it's moving, there's plenty of get up and go when you need to pass. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and we think the 2020 Escape looks stellar. The sleek LED headlights and body molding recessed LED fogs are modern and elegant. The grille and air dam are subtly aggressive. The back accent, lower side rails create a low-profile hourglass figure, and the 18-inch aluminum wheels are sporty yet refined. Typically, the front of the car gets all of the attention, but the back of the Escape has outstanding detailing, starting from the silver-trimmed bodywork highlighting the dual exhaust to the badging for the hybrid, titanium, and all-wheel drive, topped off by a spoiler over the tinted rear window. Unlike the chrome and big fins from the 60s, most of the exterior details are all about reducing drag for better fuel economy. Many of these details we could appreciate at first glance, but others, like the paneled underbody, required some crawling on our belly to review. The interior is also very appealing, but it's the layout of the dash and the controls that really stand out. I tend to keep vehicles for a very long time, and I haven't owned a Ford for a while. Yet I sat in the Escape, and after a quick glance around the cockpit, I had all the controls in mind and within reach.
I'm enjoying the heads-up display. If you don't like the heads-up display, which some people don't, you can just turn it off. There's a button right on the steering wheel, and I can electronically lower it so it disappears. The center console navigation is super sharp, clear, and actually goes pretty fast. Home screen takes you here where you've got navigation. A single touch and it'll load your map and take it all the way across, which is pretty handy. Hitting the home screen again brings you back here with your song choice. There's nice big buttons across the bottom that are easy to see, so you can switch back and forth between apps and settings. And as you can see, it's quite fast.
After a few minutes poking around the screen options, I knew how to get all the electronic information I wanted. The one placement we didn't like is the location of the engine start button.
Your engine start button is tucked away inside here.
The redeeming note is that once you know where it is, you don't need to see it to use it. Interior options are good, with a large glove box, cup holders, and a place to chuck your sundries like your phone. There is a USB and a USB-C charge port, which I felt was a little skimpy given the number of mobile devices a family carries. Although the 12-volt AC port for the rear passengers should take care of them. Back here we also have a 110-volt outlet, which is going to be handy to power up all those entertainment devices that might be in use in the back. Now, speaking of the rear passengers, some of Ford's engineers must get stuck back there on a regular basis.
One of the really nice features that I enjoy is the back seat, which is usually the last place you want to be. Everyone calls shotgun to get in the front, but the Escape actually has some nice features. First of all, it's sliding. So you can actually, if you need more cargo space, you can move the seat forward. And the front seat's actually cut out, so actually there's still room for my knees. Now I'm 5'8", I've still got some good headroom. Definitely this is tight, you wouldn't want to be on a long drive this way, but the option is here that you can spread right out. And right now I have this front seat all the way back, so you can see that this could be quite comfortable in the back. And yes, it reclines, reclining back seats. How civilized is that? There is a small hump in the middle and the back, so not as comfortable as passenger and driver's side, but it's doable, especially for a small person or child.
This is particularly innovative since when choosing a new vehicle, we often have to choose between space for cargo or space for passengers, but now you can get both. While most dimensions between the gas and hybrid versions are identical, cargo space is different. You get an extra 4.6 cubic feet behind the front row and 3.1 cubic feet behind the second row when you choose the gas option instead of the hybrid. Have you ever wondered, did I lock it? Or do you have friends or family that borrow the truck and you wonder where it is or if there'll be gas in it when it comes back? The Ford Pass Connect app is a powerful tool that lets you remotely start, stop, lock, unlock, and track your vehicle's location. It'll tell you the distance to empty, check the tire pressure, and can send you alerts for any recommended maintenance, all from your smartphone, anywhere in the world that cellular coverage exists. And Ford says the patented digital keyless entry may be one of the best appreciated features by Ford and Lincoln owners, especially the outdoor action sport folks. If you're worried about losing or damaging your expensive fob or phone, leave them in your vehicle and use your security code to lock and unlock it while you go swimming, kayaking, hiking, and mountain biking. The old buttons on the handle from 1980 are gone, and they've been replaced with a capacitive touchpad on the B-pillar that's water and weatherproof. State-of-the-art standard electronic features include Ford Co-Pilot 360, allowing Ford Co-Pilot 360 assist features like the adaptive cruise control with stop and go and lane centering, evasive steering assist, and voice-activated navigation with SiriusXM traffic and travel link. Ford Co-Pilot auto beam headlamps, blind spot information, a rear view camera. Throwing it into reverse, now we can see that we've got our backup camera as well as all the sensors that are highlighting everything that's around the car. And that is, if you have a tow hitch for instance, that shoots down at your tow hitch, so you've got a much easier time connecting a trailer. And auto hold and hill start assist. Now, auto hold, if you haven't had it before, means that instead of keeping your foot on the brake at a stoplight, you can actually take your foot off. The auto hold will keep you in position, brake lights on in the back until you hit the gas, and then you can take off. Ford Pass Connect is a standard feature that provides 4G LTE Wi-Fi for up to 10 mobile devices with a compatible wireless subscription service. Now, some of our favorite features, especially if you have extended commutes or love to take long trips to get away from it all, are the Sync 3, which is compatible with features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Ford and Alexa, and Waze navigation. Since we love our tunes, the 575-watt 10-speaker sound system by Bang & Olufsen ranks really high, and our addiction to the great outdoors puts the panoramic sunroof literally at the top of the list. Now, I drive for a living, so I get a lot of practice parking. If you don't, the optional class-exclusive Active Park Assist 2 will be a dream come true, providing stress-free, perfect parking every time. The 2020 Escape starts at $28,549 Canadian. Our Escape with the all-new 2.5-liter hybrid all-wheel drive powertrain in the fully loaded titanium trim with a panoramic sunroof has an MSRP of $42,599 Canadian. Does the Escape have everything you want to be part of your lifestyle or the lifestyle you plan on having? Can you see yourself in the new Escape? If you can, which engine is right for you? And if you can't, which crossover would you buy instead? Please let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please share it and smash that like button. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. We would really appreciate that. And ring that bell so you're the first to know when a new video comes out. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you in the great outdoors.